Hello, it's Cutie Crochet here. Today I want to talk more about tips to you guys. I know usually I just post tutorials and stuff, but today I feel like I want to share some tips. And this tip is completely for beginners, so let's start. Tip number 1 is okay, type of yarn is essential for you to look at. Make sure that you pick yarn that is easy for beginners to use. And the yarn type that I would recommend is acrylic yarn and also milk yarn. It's not only cheap, but also it's like easy to see the stitches, and it's basically just beginner friendly in general. Okay, there's other types of yarn out there such as Chanel yarn, chunky yarn, and fox yarn, polyester. We start avoiding these first. For tip number 2, let's say you want to start crocheting, but you start with a black colored yarn. That's absolutely a no-no because black colored yarn, you can't see the stitches at all. And it's going to be really, really difficult. Even for experts who have been crocheting for years, they would still have some trouble crocheting with black yarn. So I would recommend you start crocheting with like a more pale colored yarn, pastel, let's say like light purple, light pink. That's absolutely okay. Avoid black color yarn and avoid white color yarn. Some say that white is too bright and might be distracting while crocheting. Alright, now we go to tip number 3. It's important that you also pick the right hook size when crocheting. I say this because when you crochet, it's easy for it to be too tight and too loose if you use the wrong hook size. So if you use a hook size that is, let's say, too small, it's going to be really tight. And therefore, it's going to be difficult for you to crochet, especially as beginners, and it's difficult to see the stitches. And if you use a bigger hook size, it's going to be too loose. It's easily to mess up, and therefore, it's going to look really messy. It's going to look untidy and just bad in general. So the hook size that I recommend for beginners would be the 4mm hook size, suitable for acrylic and also milk yarn. For the next tip that I want to talk about is when you do a magic ring, it's going to be a lot difficult to do the stitches. It's a lot more difficult to see it. So I recommend you don't do the magic ring yet. You just do crochet in rows first. First you learn how to do the chains, and then you learn how to crochet in rows, like the single crochet and double crochet. Just start to make like a square first. And after you've mastered it and you know how to make a square, then I would recommend to do a magic ring and then do those amigurumi circles or whatever you want. Then for tip number 5, for the final tip, I want to tell you that you will notice on the internet that there's some people who manage to learn crochet just in a couple of days and sometimes even just a couple of hours. But don't get overwhelmed by it. It's okay to learn crocheting in your own pace, in your own time. If it is gonna take you like a week or a month or even longer to learn crocheting, it's okay. It's all on your own pace. You never have to feel down just because others might learn it quicker than you. Because even when I first learned crocheting, I actually took a really long time to learn doing the magic ring. It took me a month to do, and like for real, it did took me a month to do because I always stopped and then I tried again and again. And that's the difference if you learn it from the internet. I just learned crocheting from YouTube, and therefore it was a lot more complicated for me to understand how to see the stitches in like when you do like a circular crochet. So it took me longer to understand that. And yeah, that's why you shouldn't compare yourself. There's some people out there who maybe learned it a lot quicker and they might have their own teachers or they learned it from a parent. So if you're just learning it from YouTube, don't feel overwhelmed by how fast others have learned it. It's okay to start at your own pace. You can do it, and just keep on trying. Never give up. You got this, right? If you like this video, Don't forget to like it and subscribe to me for more content like this. Okay, bye.